I want the truth and nothing but the truth.
What's up everyone, it's your lawyer, JobberGodot, and it's been a bit since I've uploaded. The reason for that is because of two things. First, I've been pretty busy in real life, and second is that I've been in a hyperbolic time chamber, like scaling the JoJo verse and simply getting more in-depth knowledge on tiering systems and other lingo. Finally, I have another announcement to make, which is that my Discord server will be private and it'll be 2 boosts to get in because of the sheer amount of content I have in there. Anyways, if you end up liking this video, make sure to like and subscribe with notifications on to keep seeing my videos. Now onto the video. Now this is something I massively overlooked when scaling JoJo. I'd go as far as to say that I've been downplaying this element that's been there since the beginning of the series and has never went away. Fate and gravity. Now, here's the summary or assertion of the research and scans I've collected for the subject that I'll prove over the course of this video, and also have links to in the description. Also keep in mind, I'll be using the Versus Battle Wiki tiering system and definitions for this video. The summary / assertion is that destiny, forecasts, the future, characters that can see the future, predict the future, predictions are all fate or fated in JoJo, and fate is universal as a low ball and high universal as a mid ball. Gravity is above fate as fate is bound by time and gravity isn't and controls fate, so gravity is, universal plus to multiversal plus / infinite 4D. Some characters passively have fate or gravity on their side while some actively use fate or gravity to help them in battle. Something notable is that when characters use fate to win or overcome it, they do it by upholding justice, being lucky, having a righteous spirit, or using the virtue of justice, or having resolve in righteous actions. Fate manipulation, as described by Versus Battle Wiki, is the ability to manipulate destiny to achieve a desired result. More subtle forms of the ability can simply nudge events in the user's favor, while more powerful variations can make it possible to ordain one's victory against their opponent. Types of fate manipulation are probability manipulation and causality manipulation. Probability manipulation is the ability to manipulate probability, allowing one to make the unlikely more likely to occur, and vice versa. This can take effect in a variety of ways. It may appear as just supernatural luck, or can be more actively used for defense to make attacks inexplicably miss. And in the same way, it can be used to make sure attacks always hit. At a high level, it can be used to make things that would be completely impossible otherwise certainties. Due to many possible applications of such an ability, it is exceptionally versatile and its capability should be judged on a case-by-case basis. On a greater scale, it can be used to manipulate quantum probability and can reach the level of powerful reality warping. Now onto supernatural luck. While many characters can be described as lucky or unlucky, some have their luck pushed to the extreme, supernatural extent. At the level of supernatural luck, one's good or bad fortune can be compared to passive probability manipulation, often overlapping for some characters, as they are followed by fortune in everything they do and everywhere they go, to the point that impossible coincidences just line up again and again in or against their favor. Being lucky or unlucky in itself is not enough to have this ability. A character's exceptional luck must be a real ability or supernatural aspect of them. Now, reality warping, sometimes called reality alteration or reality manipulation, is a term used to describe the ability to manipulate reality itself. The ability to change reality into how the person in question sees fit while ignoring the rules of science. Users can alter any item already considered real, any decision made in the past, any item ever created, any movement, choice, color, atom, or molecule that exists can be changed. All of existence bends to the imagination of a reality warper. Users can rewrite the laws of physics and then change them back in an instant. Universes can bend to the will of a reality warper. Examples include erasing things out of existence, granting wishes, creating universes, creating / altering matter, time manipulation, spatial manipulation, etc. Keep the creating universes especially in mind because there is a certain individual JoJo that does exactly that. Finally, causality manipulation. The user can redirect any cause to any effect, undo anything by inverting the relation cause/effect, or even separate them entirely. making a specific effect impossible to be caused, or a specific cause not producing any effect. This allows one to achieve virtually anything by redirecting the selected cause to the desired effect. A finger snap that normally causes sound and kinetic force could instead cause a sun explosion or a massive resurrection. The user could also instantly erase anything from existence by making its existence the cause of its own non-existence. Another possibility is like the instant rewriting of a whole reality by making reality X, the current reality, the cause of reality Y, a tailor-made one. At a high level, the user would be able to rewrite the laws of causality as a whole, essentially playing God. Now, with the definitions out of the way, let's begin scaling. The stone mask ravels the destiny of Jonathan and Dio. Dio's destiny was to be impaled by the statue of the goddess of love, guardian of House Joestar, and take the brunt of the fire, as that was Jonathan's goal. Jonathan's fate is to battle the mask. Jonathan's destiny was to meet and kill Bruford to save his soul. Zeppeli chose to train with the Haman warriors, which his destiny greatly changes to, which makes him fated to die by an enemy. He's told the exact details of his fated/destined death in the future, and it happens. Dio was destined to take Jonathan's body, which he does. Even Jonathan says their intertwined fates will disappear as Jonathan's fate lost to Dio's destiny. Joseph's similarities to Jonathan and interest in the stone mask put him in a destiny that he cannot escape from. It's Joseph's destiny to meet Santana, the Pillarman, and witness ultimate cars. Joestars were fated to die young. Joseph overcame his fate to die with luck. The Joestar's destiny is to fight Dio. Spirit photos by Hermit Purple can reveal destinies. It's Jotaro's destiny to fight Dio. The star on a Joestar's back is the Joestar destiny. Jotaro is overwhelmed by the power of Hierophant Green's Emerald Splash. Jotaro even takes a hit through his heart, but he somehow is able to regenerate and overpower the Emerald Splash and win because he upholds justice. Now, the tarot cards. These are the cards of fate. They tell the destiny and ability of a stand. Polnareff's sister was fated to die. Thoth has a book that predicts a future that will happen. They also operate under the tarot cards of fate. Thoth's book's predictions are always right. Jotaro, Polnareff, and Joseph passively neg their future to die by poison. Something to note is that that trio is the only ones to make it out of part 3 alive. Just Jotaro, Polnareff, and Joseph. The rest just die. So that's something to keep in mind. So Thoth proves that he's right, that basically in his book it's just 100% the future, that there's nothing wrong with his future sight, right? And he tests it out and everything just happens all accordingly. Now, Jotaro in the future was supposed to explode, but Thoth's brother exploded instead. Later, Jotaro was supposed to be shot in the head in the future, but Whole Horse was shot instead. Thoth explains that his future sight was correct, but it was changed to be Whole Horse's fate. Jotaro's luck made the future/fate change so that Thoth's brother and Whole Horse were struck down by it. The Joestars are blessed with ridiculous luck, and this is coming from Dio of all people. Killer Queen Bites Dust puts people in a fated time loop, where everything that once happened is guaranteed to happen, and Hayato beat fate and what was fated. Fate/luck gives the one it sides with opportunities to overcome a situation, which it does. Fate/luck sides with Kira via Stray Cat and gives Kira an opportunity to finish Josuke off, but his fate, /luck and opportunity get negged by righteous spirits. Giorno, Josuke, Jotaro, and Joseph have the virtue of justice. Giorno inherited the will of the Joestar bloodline. Giorno and Mista would have lost to Gaucho if it wasn't for Resolve. Resolve is to carve out your destined path through the darkened wastes. Mista uses Resolve to fight Gaucho. Mista is unable to die because him and Giorno's Resolve is strong pretty much, and it's just the righteous path or righteous fated path, that they walk. Now, Diablo's epitaph can see 10 seconds into the future, via forecasts that will happen. Diablo uses his time erasure / skip ability to operate outside of time, or inside erase time, where there's no time for everyone but himself, and outside of fate, which is why he's invincible in it. And is also why he can't, interact with people or objects. Aerosmith's bullets going through, Diablo is a perfect example, as what's being erased is just a projection. Everything that's fated to happen will happen in erase time. Like, Polnareff and like Jono's blood drops. Now, Diablo uses epitaph to see into the future events fated to happen. If he dies in that future, Diablo uses King Crimson to operate, outside of time / fate in a time frame of 10 seconds. Diablo was fated to die, right? But when erased / skipped, he never existed to be killed in the first place. Diablo erasing time and skipping is like if I jump out of a TV from the movie I'm in and watch for 12 or 10 seconds, of what was fated to happen, including the actions of people, and hop right back in. The only difference is that the people in the movie don't remember what they did in those 10 seconds. And from their perspective, things just skipped. Plus, another way to look at Diablo's ability is that he can erase the cause, which for this example was the process of the bullets shooting at him, and change the effect so that him being shot, instead of him being shot, it was Risotto that was shot. These two explanations would grant Diablo causality manipulation with his abilities. Despite taking fatal wounds, Bucciolati managed to escape Diablo, also die, and come back to life to warn Giorno of the boss's pursuit. Diablo calls him lucky, as I would too. That's amazing. Fate is on Diablo's side, as it was fate that let him have the possession of the era multiple times. Bucciolati's righteous actions create a reality where Giorno gets a Requiem stand instead of Diablo. Now, Goal Experience Requiem is above the future / fate. Reality is the future, by GR stating what you see is indeed reality. Your ability indeed sees the actions that will actually perform, which is referring to Diablo's race time and also epitaph. However, you will never arrive at the reality that will occur. Diablo won't even arrive at the reality or future of death, as shown instead by GER. Bucciolati was originally the only one fated to die. Everyone are slaves to fate. Mista tries to kill the Rolling Stone stand user, but the user wasn't fated to die yet, so Mista's gun jams impossibly. Mista destroys the Rolling Stone, changing the fate of his gang. Also, Mista doesn't die from the fall and has a car, cushion his fall, as he wasn't fated to die yet either. Fate fulfilled its purpose by killing Bucciolati, Abacchio, and Narancia. Fang Shi puts its victims in unlucky areas where fate's on Fang Shi's side, instead of being on his opponent's pretty much. Dio wants Pucci to find heaven, which is beyond the powers of Dio's stand that stops time. Dio even talked about the concept of a stand transcending time. Fate is on Pucci's side. He got stabbed through the neck and it was coincidentally not fatal. Weather Report couldn't kill Pucci because Fate was on Pucci's side. Now, gravity controls Fate. Even though Fate is on Pucci's side, he seeks the mastery over gravity. Everything is fated / destined. Pucci will overcome the destiny of the Joestar bloodline. Pucci's fate is above the Joestar's justice. Pucci waits for his destined moment of victory, or what could say an opportunity. Immediately after he finds a gun he would have killed Jolene with had Jotaro intervened with time stop. Fate is on Pucci's side, which is why Jotaro's spear didn't hit in time stop, although it should have, which pushed him perfectly towards heaven, which makes Pucci fully achieve the full power of gravity. Here's confirmation that the ability is to transcend time and time stop by speeding up time, which is an ability that Dio himself pursued. Pucci is now above Fate because of the full power of gravity and kills everyone including Jotaro and Jolene and uses their fate by exploiting its weakness. The creation of the universe is inevitable, fated, and predestined. Here's a quote. Although it is said that humans can shape their destiny, perhaps that reshaping a destiny is already predestined. So, after that, every physical like JoJo like universe, right after that quote, right, is created because of fate. There's like an infinite number of universes in JoJo, which is why fate would be high universal. High universal being characters who demonstrate an infinite amount of energy on a 3D scale, or those who can like affect an infinite 3D area or an infinite number of finite or infinite universes when not accounting for any higher dimensions or time, or more generally any like realm comparable like size. Large numbers of infinite universes, unless casually closed from one another by a separate space-time or existence, only count for like a higher level of this tier. Also, Pucci with Made in Heaven created a universe by accelerating time. This would give Pucci reality warping as I described before. And there's more information that I'm about to tell that supports that notion. Now, Made in Heaven. In the guidebook for JoJo Veller, it's stated that it uses gravity to gradually speed up the time of the universe. Only living people can go to like the new world all after like, the round, and it specifically says that all to just cut off fate, essentially. Plus, the only way Pucci was able to go back in time, to a parallel dimension is because of gravity. Valentine needed gravity, right, to dimension hop with D4C because he'd literally be destroyed. Everything is fated to happen, including Emporio leaving Cape Carnival. Emporio's destined future is to defeat Pucci, which he does before Pucci can cut himself off from that by using Made in Heaven's, full speeding up time abilities. This is the new universe, by the way, that's the same except 4 months back in time in bootleg versions of the Part 6 crew because Pucci killed them before, they could come to the new world, so their souls didn't transfer. Pucci is unable to use Made in Heaven to become above fate with the power of gravity and is defeated by Emporio as destined. Emporio's justice is true fate. Pucci died and the fate of mankind was literally altered. Gravity manipulation is universal plus to infinite 4D. The only thing that can move through all the infinite, dimensions, like of JoJo, right? These are, universes, is gravity. Like, I'm talking the whole thing. And it transcends dimensions, including time. Now, we can provide more proof for that. D4C Love Train, which uses gravity, is an evolution of D4C that transcends dimensions. So, Universal Plus is characters who are capable of significantly affecting, creating, and / destroying an area of space that is quantifiably larger than an infinitely sized 3-dimensional space. Common fictional examples of spaces representing such sizes are space-time continuums of a universal scale. Significantly affect is used as an umbrella term for feats that don't involve direct creation or destruction, but are comparable to them in power, such as, warping and distorting the entirety of the structure in question, sustaining its existence with one's own, etc. Now, Multiversal Plus or Infinite 4D is characters who are capable of significantly affecting, creating / or destroying countably infinite number of space-time continuums. Now, Araki did intend for certain stands to be this powerful, as he states in the JoJo Valor guidebook, quote, stands are endless paranormal powers that can sometimes destroy matter, sometimes spread plague, and sometimes dominate time and space, and interfere with the rules of the world. Possibly it is a hidden ability. Now, some extras I have here for this is that, Jesus was fated to be put on the cross, as, Pucci said that in part 6, and we have it in part 7. He was fated to be put on the cross. Exactly what Pucci said. Araki says that, in an interview, that Giorno and Bucciolati follow the path of justice. Dio's goal in part 3 wasn't to defeat Jotaro, but to defeat the Joestar Destiny. And here's a quote from Jojonium about that. So, here's the quote. What is the destiny that Dio has to face? It's not to face off with Jotaro, the descendant of Jonathan. It's something invisible to the eye that lies, behind their bloodline. It's what gives the Joestars their allies, the Ripple, stands, and their uncanny luck. That's what I define as the Joestar's destiny. And instead, what Dio is destined to do is to squash that and surpass it. As such, he doesn't view Jotaro himself as his arch enemy. Rather, Dio only views him as an obstacle to overcome in order to fulfill his destiny after his 100-year slumber. In the end, Dio wasn't able to achieve his goal, but it's fun to imagine what things would have been like if he had been able to defeat Jotaro. Another quote, "Even after defeating Jotaro, perhaps someone else would inherit his will. After all, Dio has already experienced that once before." Now, that's it for Fate and Gravity. And before I go, I'd like to, give a shout out to Monster and Reptile for doing some Photoshop pieces of me in my Discord server community. I'd also like to thank, Lord Dio for his artwork of Godot. It's simply amazing, and I'm very appreciative of this kind of stuff, and it gets me hype. Like, genuinely gets me hype. But by the way, to all y'all watching, if y'all want to join my Discord, just hit me up in DMs, or want to talk to me about something you disagree with, or of what I said in this video, then my username is just, it's just in the description. By the way, my Discord is chill, has lots of activities, and you'll get access to JoJo guidebooks and translations as long as you're active and follow the rules. Now, that's all I have for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and until next time, peace.